Hello and welcome to another show. This is Tom Paxton, still rambling. My guests tonight will be known to you for many hit records on both sides of the Atlantic. They are Peter, Paul, and Mary.
I'm leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Leaving on a jet plane. I don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go.
Formed in the early 60s out of New York's Greenwich Village coffee house circuit, it's been said of them that they wrote the soundtrack for that era. They campaigned, they protested, marched, and stood up for what they believed in.
If I had a hammer, I'd a hammer in the morning, I'd a hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd a hammer out danger, I'd a hammer out warning, I'd a hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters. Oh.
I met up with the trio in New York, and they're still going strong, as you'll hear now. Sit back and enjoy the unique sound of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
How many roads must a man walk down before they call him a man? How many seas must a white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand? How many times must the cannonballs fly before they're forever banned? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many years must a mountain exist before it is washed to the sea? How many years can some people exist before they're allowed to be free? How many times can a man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. How many times must a man look up before he can see the sky? How many ears must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. The answer, my friend, it's blowing in the wind. The answer is still peace and love and justice, and all of us working for those things together.
Well, I won't call them my old friends because that's becoming a very sensitive issue, but I will say my dear, dear friends of very, very long standing, Peter Yarrow, Noel Paul Stookey, Mary Travers, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Thank you guys for being with me.
Thomas Paxton, Tom Paxton,
Wow.
Oklahoma Paxton.
I remember when the two of you, when Noel and Tom were roommates.
Roomies.
We were roomies while you guys were putting this together. And as a matter of fact,
you were roommates before we were putting together.
And I've been complaining for years. I said that you two guys kept me up one whole night working out the guitar parts on Lemon Tree.
Lemon Tree.
And I've never liked the song ever since. Well, the idea for Peter, Paul, and Mary sprang from the fertile brain of Albert Grossman, did it not?
Yes.
Albert was managing you, Peter?
He was.
And then what happened?
Albert said that he had an idea that there could be a group in which each of the individuals would be full, whole human beings themselves. Not that kind of, we're all wearing the same shirt, Kingston Trio identity, where all the voices were clustered in the center, but where there were three distinctly different people. And he said that there should be a comedian. At the time, nobody knew that Noel was Paul, by the way, of course.
That was about the only thing that I did successfully in the village, was to be funny.
He was very funny. Then he said, would we need a powerful woman singer? But he was not thinking, Mary, about a soprano. You know, he was really thinking about a gutsy person. I don't know if you guys know this, but I worked with somebody before you guys. Did you know that?
No.
The Israeli group? Or?
No. Albert put me together with some girl that was, you didn't know that, right?
What was her name?
God knows. And she was a good singer, but it wasn't. No.
I mean, the story I heard
Yes.
was you went into Izzy Young's Folklore Center, which was this wonderful place where they sold banjos and records and strings and picks.
Songbooks and
whatever.
Yeah.
And there was a big wall that had pictures of everybody who had ever uttered a note in folk music. And it is purported that you said
It's
to
true.
Albert that you pointed out a picture of me and you
Who
said,
is
who is she?
that? and Albert said,
That's Mary
That's
Travers.
Mary
She'd be good if you could get her to work. And you've been trying to get me to work ever
well, that's
since.
almost a correct quote. Now, at the same time, unbeknownst to me, Noel and Mary had already met and were making music together. But I saw Noel at the Gaslight, and I was totally blown away. So, yes, and I went to Albert and I said, Noel Stookey would be great. I didn't know at the time that you were the musician or the songwriter or any. I just knew that you were musical. So I said that to Albert that I thought that was a great choice, and he said, "Let me talk to him. Let me talk to him." So he came back and he said,
That's
what
right.
he said. Well, he says he doesn't want to do it, but I think he'll do it. So I went up to Mary's apartment. Albert arranged for me to do that, and we sang together, and it was interesting, you know, but it wasn't there, right? And we happened to call up Noel.
Yeah, because Mary knew me. And that was a
That's
lot
right.
different to being asked by Albert Grossman if he wanted to sing in a trio. You know?
Right.
So we went over there to your place, and we sang.
In the key of C, probably.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
Then we stopped and we said, okay, who was singing melody just then? You were. Okay, now you sing melody.
Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb.
And then we said, okay, now you sing melody. Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little. And as we shopped around for parts, we said,
Wow.
this is pretty. No matter whether we stack it on its head or put it on its bottom.
I'll tell you,
it's-
So
it was
then you
there in
formed
the
a
air.
group.
It was immediate.
Yeah, I think that which I rejoice in the most about this trio is the integrity that's measurable in minutes, seconds, weeks, months, years, lifetimes. And as folk music speaks to the integrity of the human being, the whole human being, so am I the most pleased with the fact that this trio does. Wonderful.
See,
I sometimes look back at our life. And I remember when I was, 13, 14, I loved to daydream. And I could never have dreamt this one. I never in a million years could I have dreamt up this life. We have been so
Go ahead,
blessed.
say it.
We have been blessed.
You have been blessed.
We have been blessed.
I'd like to thank you in a song.
Oh,
He said smoothly. Now, I want to do this song for you and with you. It's a song I wrote really to thank people like Pete and Weavers and Josh White and Paul Ropes and Burl Ives, Gene Ritchie, that whole Cynthia Gooding, that whole
Cynthia.
that whole generation that taught us
Eddie West.
what this stuff was, Eddie West, what it was about. So I'll start this thing and then maybe you can help me with the chorus.
Okay.
When I find myself with a song to write, I remember candles in the night, voices raised in a ragged harmony, singing this land was made for you and me. Some of those voices are silent now and gone. I'm glad to see how you've been keeping on. I remember the songs that pulled us through, and when I hear those songs I think of you. So thank you for the honor of your company. The music was as sweet as the good red wine. Thanks for the company, and thanks for the harmony. I'm here to say the honor was all mine. Back when times were tough and the news was bad, faith in a couple of songs was all we had. Songs we rearranged and made our own. Songs that sometimes seem we'd always known. We've been together now for a long, long time, and if ever I was the poet, you were the rhyme. It was always the music that kept us strong, but if ever I was a singer, you were the song. So thank you for the honor of your company. The music was as sweet as the good red wine. Thanks for the company, and thanks for the harmony. I'm here to say the honor was all mine. Decade after decade, year by year, season after season, we're still here. We're still here. And it does not take a crystal ball to know we're gonna go out singing when we go. 5-string banjo and a steel string guitar, just a couple of the reasons why we've come this far. Singing like we always have and will, knowing the circle is unbroken still. So thank you for the honor of your company. The music was as sweet as the good red wine. Thanks for the company, and thanks for the harmony. I'm here to say the honor was all mine. I'm here to say the honor was all mine.
Do that last 3 lines again.
Thanks for the company, and thanks for the harmony. I'm here to say the honor was all mine.
Thank you. I just had to hear that.
I think we can't really accuse that one of being over-rehearsed, can we?
No, but why
Well-
did it remind me of, what was that bar up above the gas
The
lamp?
Kettle of Fish.
Kettle of Fish.
Tom Paxton, still rambling on BBC Radio 2, 88 to 91 FM, with my guests, Peter, Paul, and Mary. I have an idea what your answer might be, but what for you is the best day Peter, Paul, and Mary ever had? Peter?
There have been many moments that have moved me, but I'd say categorically it's when we're singing for something that we believe in, when we're sticking our necks out on the line to say we care about something, we're not getting paid, you know, and it's a march or it's a demonstration, or some kind of event where the music unites with a vision and a hope. And when we're allowed to be spokespeople for that, then those moments are the most powerful moments in my memory. And there are many kinds of them. That I remember a refugee camp in El Salvador, or there was a very extraordinary moment in Nicaragua when we went to see a tiny little village that had been hit by the Contra just a few days before, and they lost many members of their group. And when they sat down to give their testimony, it was just agonizing to hear. And they weren't doing it to complain. They were doing it to say, take this message back to the people of the United States. Well, when there was the singing after that, it was the closest thing to kind of spirituality, because there was nothing left to do than to love them, and the best way to love them and to show how deeply we cared was to sing together.
What were some of the songs you sang there?
Well, the funniest song that we did was...
Oh, let me tell you, please. Because if someone would ask me what's the funniest, or not funniest, but a moment when I was in a very loving way most proud, was watching the two of you and a translator sing There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly in an orphanage in El Salvador. And it's the perfect song for that, because it's There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly, and then someone says in Spanish, there was an old lady who swallowed a fly. Poor old lady, I thought she'd die. And then they go, poor old lady, I thought she'd die in Spanish. The children just were enchanted, absolutely enchanted and laughing. But I was watching the two of them do There Was an Old Lady Who Swallowed a Fly, and I felt all of that goodness radiate off of them.
Sure. When there is that moment, all you can do is rejoice at life and love each other.
You've been laying it on the line for a long time, and you've just brought out a compilation album without one new track. I'd like you to sing that. I know it's a song that means a lot to all of you.
They're playing this on the adult standard stations, the oldies to some, as it's called, and it's interesting. There's a huge response to this song, and it is a credit to Steve Seskin and his co-writer. Here it is. I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek. A little girl who never smiles, 'cause I got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep.
I'm that kid on every playground, it's always chosen last. A single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend, but is it too much to ask?
get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm the beggar on the corner. You pass me on the street, and I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. And don't think I don't know this, our eyes never meet. Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all? Don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. In God's eyes we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me.
That's wonderful. We're going to have to wrap, unfortunately.
I know.
This is one of those times when I really could just go forever and ever and ever. But would you help me finish with one of the...
Help me.
Oh,
Help me, Rhonda.
Help me finish. Help me finish with an old song. You know this one. This is from the Gaslight. It's a long and dusty road, hot and a heavy load. Folks I meet ain't always kind. Some are bad and some are good. Some have done the best they could. Some have tried to ease my trouble in mind. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I've been wandering through this land, doing the best I can, trying to find what I was meant to do. And the people that I see look as worried as can be, and it looks like they are wondering too. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. I had a little gal one time, she had lips like sherry wine, and she loved me till my head went plumb insane. But I was too blind to see she was drifting away from me, and my good gal went off on the morning train. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. And I had a buddy back home, but he started out to roam. And I hear he's out by Frisco Bay. And sometimes when I've had a few, his old voice comes ringing through, and I'm going out to see him some old day. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. So if you see me passing by and you sit and you wonder why, and you wish that you were a rambler too. Nail your shoes to the kitchen floor, lace them up and bar the door. Thank your stars for the roof that's over you. And I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Oh, I can't help but wonder where I'm bound, where I'm bound. Can't help but wonder where I'm bound. Peter Yarrow, Noel Paul Stookey, Mary Travers, my dear old friends, Peter, Paul, and Mary. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Thanks to Peter, Paul, and Mary in great form. I'm sure you'll agree. Thanks also to Donald McGinnis for producing and to Colin Stephen for the sound. I'm Tom Paxton, and I'll be still rambling at the same time next week with my guest, Hal Ketchum. If you've heard him before, I know you'll tune in. If you haven't, don't miss the chance to hear one of country music's brightest stars.
But I do, and I wonder if I'm past the point of rescue. Is no word from you at all the best that you can do? I never meant to push or shove you. Do you know how much I love you? No, you don't, but I do. I know you don't, but I do.
Till then, for me, Tom Paxton, it's goodbye.